Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday, and welcome to another fantastic edition of Open Letters to a Survivor. I am your moderator, James. I am here with two new queens, and then we have one of the original queens here for an amazing show with you tonight. So, of course, we got Cassandra, we have the lovely ladies, PJ, and we have Luciana. How is everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
All right.
Great.
Listen,
Honored to be filling in.
Listen, I just want to say for myself, of course, I'm not on throughout the whole show, but I really just want to say thank you to you guys. This has been a journey, not a bad journey, but it's been a journey just with having this network, which I launched in August of 2020. So it's been like a year and a half almost that the network has been running. We launched with Transcendent Culture. Transcendent Culture has had a lot of bumps and hiccups and cast changes. It's like the Destiny's Child. So like we started with these three or these two, and it just kind of morphed and evolved into something else. So we are finally settled. I have actually our guest today, or your guest today, is one of my co-hosts on Transcendent. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say Tiff. She is my blood cousin. My other co-host is my blood cousin as well. So we have done amazing with that podcast, and it was kind of like the anchor, like it launched the network. We launched with Camila Greer from 702. So she came on the show, and like we've had phenomenal guests from there, and it's cool because I've been in the entertainment industry, so I usually can get people to come on the different shows. But she came on, she blessed us for the first episode, and it really has been up. Look, I got so many computers sitting over here, I'm flipping stuff over. But we launched from there, and it really has just been through the roof. So fast forward, Open Letters to a Survivor came in probably maybe 3 to 4 months after we launched, and it is now the #1 podcast on the network. So that's because of Cassandra. That's because of course, Lady Poet, because she's the brainchild of it all. But it also is Cassandra, and it's K-Love, and it's Tim, who we're going to have on later in the show. So they have done amazing. They have surpassed, transcended to the culture. I'm like, why nobody ain't checking us out? But that matters. That's because what you ladies offer is first and foremost is what's missing out here. Nobody talks about mental health.
Yes.
It's like it's taboo in our community, but we all got something going on. Like we all got something happening, whether we talk about it or not. Everybody makes life look so easy peasy and so gravy, and like everything is good, but behind closed doors, people are suffering, and it really don't help. The political state right now, in terms of where people are. So it's some people who are struggling simply because of that. So you ladies are here for a purpose. You are serving everybody else, but most importantly, you're serving yourselves, and you are constantly in healing, and it helps me. Like I've dealt with depression. I've had thoughts. If you know what I'm talking about, like I've had thoughts at one point or another, and you learn ways to get through it and resources that you have, and it's because of people like you all, and especially you, PJ, and you, Luciana, who obviously you're just now jumping in, but like you're doing a service to people, and I appreciate you. I know everybody who's watching appreciates you. I see the numbers flowing up already, like people coming in. So that's a good thing. I'm getting ready to push it live to everybody I know. So the numbers going to go up, but I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna shut up because Cassandra know I go on through the whole. I could dominate this whole hour, and y'all want to. So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna pass it off to Cassandra. I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna take the screen, and then we'll bring our guest up once she's introduced. So thank you, ladies, and
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, James, for that introduction and for giving a little background about where we are now with Open Letters to a Survivor. So we're going to go ahead and get this show started. I want to thank everybody this evening for joining our podcast. You see two new faces with us this evening, two new beautiful faces. Lady Poet and K Love had to step out for an event this evening. So we wanted to make sure that we just kept the party going, right? So we want
Oh,
to
keep it
say
going.
thank
Yes.
you to PJ, who was a guest of ours a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
We were doing
Yes.
phenomenal work. And Lucy, who was a former guest and family, to the show. So
Yes.
welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
So we're going to go ahead and start, the formalities of the show. And of course, since we're open letters to a survivor, we always open up with our Dear Survivor letter. I'm going to tell you, I was feeling this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. All right. So here we go. Dear Survivor, we are here today and always to honor, highlight, and full on celebrate you. Not only have you persevered in your will to survive, but you are the total personification of going to another level higher to the world to show everyone how to thrive, how to take those lemons and turn them all the way into a sweet, decadent, and delicious chocolate cake. You thought I was going to say lemonade, right? No, I had to say something different and out of the ordinary because that reflects the person that you are. Someone who was handed the lemons of the diagnosis of a chronic illness or disease, and who then had to take time to process what it all meant. You had to sit with it, cry with it, be consoled with it, scream at it, be mad about it, be scared because of it, be uncertain, be in need of support unlike any other time in your life, and then pray on it. These are just a few of the lemons. But, baby, there came a point in time when a part of you put down your gauntlet, prepared for battle, and went to war with the full belief in knowing and understanding that being victorious on the other side was the only option available to you. Full scale warfare. You had to set your mind, body, and spirit fully aligned to engage in each and every battle ahead. Were all the battles won? No, not all of them. But were the major battles defeated? Absolutely. You slayed, prayed, moved when your body said no, ate when your mind said not today, worked when your whole being said, but we can't do this today. You wielded and yielded a level of energy at times that were nearly unworldly. And yet, in the midst of it all, you knew when to take your rest, your much needed rest to reset, heal, think, grow, get stronger, devise a new battle plan during the times you felt deflated but not defeated, and went back on that battlefield of life to protect and save yours. That, my friend, is far more than making lemonade. It's a full on cake at best, and if not, a delicate souffle, if you will, right? And so we honor you today. We celebrate you today for all the work you've done and continue to do as you work to thrive and rise above the circumstances and challenges faced through the illness while you working to keep your mental health in check. It's a whirlwind for sure, but you know you're worth the fight, and so do we. We honor the warrior you are today and every day. Take care and be well as you continue to elevate along your healing journey. Sincerely, Lady Poet Speaks, K Love, PJ, Lucy, the entire team of Open Letters to a Survivor, tonight's guest Tiff, and me, Cassandra Williams.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. You
Yes.
got me still in the little snap. Who does that? Is that
Right.
you or Lady
Somebody
Kim that
snap,
does that? Snap,
snap, snap.
snap, snap.
A cake.
Chocolate
That's,
cake now.
I was feeling it. I was feeling this one. I
You
was
was
feeling
feeling that one.
I
You
was
I
took
hear
feeling
it. I
you
heard it in
made
your
you
voice.
whipped it around, you cooked it, and you took it out the oven. Yes.
Now I need to get a slice of that cake now, Miss
I get a
Gonzalez. Give me a little
slice.
slice of that cake.
So we gonna go ahead. We gonna bring on who inspired all of that, right?
Yes.
Oh my Lord,
Yes.
beautiful.
Thank
Yes.
you. Please give us Tiff. Let her come up to the stage with
Yes,
us.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome, Miss Tiff.
Welcome.
Hey, lady.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Lady, how are you?
Hello.
I
Hello.
am doing
Welcome.
great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Tiff is Tiffany, and she is a co-host of one of our sister podcasts for UG Digital, right? Transcending the culture. And so
Absolutely.
welcome you with us this evening, Tiffany. We know
Thank you.
what we're here to talk about is not
Mhm.
necessarily the easiest. And so in advance, we thank you for your transparency and your
Absolutely.
vulnerability. I will put a trigger warning, because what seems cool to one person may be triggering for another. It's
Mhm.
rather err on the side of caution, to say that we will be speaking about some sensitive subject matters, as we are focusing this month on chronic illness and mental health.
Mhm.
Okay. And so, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn the table over to Miss PJ, who is going to get you started, Tiff, with your questions for this evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Tiff. Tiff, how are you
Oh,
this
PJ,
evening?
I'm doing good.
I have not had the honor of meeting you in the past, so thank you so much for welcoming me today. So this is my first time with these beautiful women, and I
All
appreciate you.
right.
Yeah, you ripping my band-aid off. So thank you. You are very much. Um, I lost my words. Don't worry, I'm gonna get it back. Let me just
Let me- I'm gonna be losing some words here in a second. Just
no worries. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in with the very first question. It is
okay.
can you share your journey with your chronic illness and how it has impacted your mental health?
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna give you just a little bit of background right quick. Um, well, back in 2015, I was diagnosed. Well, let me start back further. 2010, I was officially diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I was having a lot of pain, joints everywhere, and it felt like every time I went up the steps, my knees was giving out. So, with that, people said, "Oh, I don't know what's going on." You literally have to get tested. So I was tested through blood work, and it kept coming out a positive ANA. I can't describe what the ANA is, but it's like it's auto. What is it? The
Autoimmune.
What do you mean?
autoimmune disease. Thank you, sis. And um, so my doctor was like, "Well, I don't know what this means." She thought I had lupus because my hair was falling out. I was always in pain, but kind of find out I didn't have lupus because they had to, do it further. So she just ruled it out as this rheumatoid arthritis. And she was like, "Well, with this being said, they had me on a lot of drugs." The one thing she said, "Do not get pregnant." I ended up pregnant within like 2 months, and she ended up balling me out for it. And then after that, we will fast forward about 5 years later, 2015, I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. And within that week, it went from stage 1 to stage 3. It was very intensive. So with rheumatoid arthritis on top of that, um, it didn't help any. Then I was diagnosed with it's called osteopenia, osteopenia, I think. Let me see, because I wrote it down. It's Osteopenia. And I was diagnosed with that after I had chemo. and did radiation, you have to go like every year to get a bone density test. And on my bone density test, it showed that my bones are actually declining itself. So my bone, and it's just a thinning of the bone, everywhere. So you're just going to be in pain. There's nothing to really cure it. There's nothing that, the only thing that you can just really do is take medication on medication or to see a really good specialist. And then it just goes on and on from there. And then I was diagnosed with chronic IBS constipation. And all of this is to do with, some of this is from the breast cancer. And I'm still going through it. I'm breast cancer free, with my opinion. I'm breast cancer free, but it's just going to be a long whirlwind for me as times go, as I get older. So that's just a little history of the chronic illness that I'm actually going through. And it's just a lot.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
That's a lot. It is a lot. Thank you so much.
Mhm. It's just a lot. I have did for my mental health. They had me on when I first started chemo. I went through finding out that my sugar. I'm hypoglycemic now. My sugar's dropped, and they had me on what was called Effexor. So that was something they gave me for my um for my anxiety and everything, and loved it. Now I can't even handle it. So I went and seen therapists, about it. I actually just signed up to see another therapist about it too, because it's really taking a toll. I'm tired, y'all. I'm so
Yeah.
exhausted.
So how has that affected your mental health? Like, does it cause a lot of anxiety, depression?
Yeah. Um, what is this? 1920. I mean, like, see, y'all look.
It's okay.
2025. Let's see. Last year, it was the year before that. So 2023, it really did something. So when you're taking chemo, I had breast cancer with the hormones. My hormones overpowered itself, and
Hmm.
because it didn't it well, on my mom's side of the family, it's not in that side of the family, but in my dad's it is. So it's it impacted that side. So they couldn't figure out. They had to test me again to see if it's hereditary or not. So it's not. So it came to hormones. So with the hormones, what was I trying to say? I said I lost my train of thought. Um,
That's okay, sis. Keep thinking because
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
and that's another thing. It messes with your memory.
Yeah.
So it really
Okay.
got to mine. It really got to mine's bad.
Hmm.
The doctor said, "Oh, well, with your memory, you'll have what's called chemo fall for a year." No, they had to give me something for that, and then I had stopped taking it because it made me feel funny. And then it was the mental. Okay, so 2 years ago, I started menopause. When I first started taking chemo, I went right into menopause within that first week of chemo, but it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But now that I am of age and I'm in menopause, they had to test you for menopause. I know that. So when they tested me for menopause, I'm talking about me, James, and Kat. We were actually literally on our way down to Atlanta to do a show, and I literally had the worst anxiety, and I could not understand. Like, I was just out of nowhere crying. Didn't My bags was packed at the door, everything. And my mom was just like, "Well, you know what? Just get a flight." James was like, "Well, Tiffany, you don't have to go." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" As soon as he said that, like, my anxiety really went like down. So then I actually went to go see a psychiatrist and psychologist, and he put me on something, you guys, I could not do. I was like in mid sentence of talking to James on the phone, and I told him I gotta go because the pill had kicked in so quick. It kept me from eating. It kept me from talking to people. It just kept me isolated. I didn't like it. I didn't even take it the next day. I threw the whole thing away. I stopped going to see that doctor. I started praying. That's how I had to get over it. Because I was done with, like, they had me on different types of medicine for it, and everything just wasn't going. So it was like I was constantly getting sick. I had lost so much weight to where I had got down to 160 pounds, and I was happy, but then I just looked like I was sick. And so that was my first time ever experiencing something like that. I'm fine now, but I still do have anxiety attacks here and there. Like driving on the expressway, I literally have to play. I don't show it, but I have to drive. I gotta drive. That's nothing. I gotta drive. But it just be like little stuff like that. Even getting on this podcast. Oh, okay. Wait, I had to call my cousin. Like, girl, okay, you gonna be on here? Like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's cool. I told Cassandra, I said, girl, I am so nervous. Like, I'll be okay.
We got you.
So,
Don't let her get her next question in, sis. We got you. We got you.
We got you. So this kind of segue into the next question. How do you navigate feelings of frustration or sadness when your body doesn't cooperate?
I don't know, y'all. I have so many, I don't know, because I have, people that I know that has chronic illness and they're getting the help. I'm not. My doctors will not put me on no type of medicine. I'm getting injections. I pray through it. I just pray through it. You guys, I get up every single morning out of my bed and I had to sit on the side of the bed and I just hurt so bad. I have chronic back pain to where my disc in my neck, it just shuts down. Everybody have a sciatic nerve issue. And I have that going on to where I thought my hips was, I thought I had fractured one of my hip bones. It wasn't. It was my sciatic nerve. I'm up here arguing with the doctor like, you're lying. It is not my back, because it wasn't my back. He said, it's your sciatic nerve, and it radiates from your back on down to your buttocks to your hip. I have chronic Charlie horses, like radiating where I had the breast surgery at, to my back. They're chronic. And I sometimes don't let people know. I do let people know. The girls at my job is so wonderful. And they understand, we got you, Tiffany, don't worry about it. But I keep going because I feel like if I stop, it's over with. I do actually feel that if I really stop everything that I'm doing, if I really stop working, if I really stop, doing stuff around the house, I don't want to do that because my illness is so chronic. I don't want to shut down. You know, I just pray through it, and that's how I have to cope with it. I literally just pray through it because, I always say your voice has got to be heard. I always say that to people. You need to be heard. I'm not. I'm not.
You can always get a second opinion if you don't like your provider.
Right.
Honey, I don't have seconds.
Yeah.
I have seconds, thirds. These doctors, so this is why the medical marijuana and all this stuff is out. I can't really do the medical marijuana because it's just too much. You got to literally try something in order to, get what you like that will actually take your body. I don't like it because it makes you eat. I don't want to be overeating because of my IBS constipation. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I do tell people that. I tell people, you go get a second or third opinion. I have done that. I have done that. But I just be feeling like I'm on my own sometimes. And you just have to work, just do it yourself. Because these doctors, half of them don't care. Half of them is not getting paid. They don't want to provide you with, the narcotics because everybody is giving on them. Just, it's just messing it up for the ones who actually need it.
Right. Exactly.
And so, Tiff, with that, I'm going to ask you, have you faced, especially as you're talking about the different providers that you've seen, Have you faced any stigmas or misunderstandings about any of your conditions? And if so,
No,
how do you handle them?
nope.
Okay.
Because I can honestly say the providers that I have been wonderful. I have one for my arthritis to the point where she is like, I don't understand why that doctor didn't send me this and what is going on with this. Like she's all the way out and mentor.
Mhm.
I'm an hour away from her. I will drive out there to see her because she used to be here in Akron and she left to go out there. And so, and when I call, she makes sure I'm first priority because I'm her furthest patient. But she said she has patients that really comes out to see her now. So, but I have been with her since 2010.
Mm.
So through everything, her and my oncologist, Dr. Sandu, which she's not with us no more, they would tag team me. They was in the same office on the same floor. And, if I had blood work for one, the other one was, what can we do about this? So I have a provider for that. I have a new oncologist, which is great. I have a specialist for gastrologist, my stomach. I have, I only see specialists and they actually all have been wonderful, and I totally get it with them not wanting to put you on medication, you know what I'm saying? But then I swear I don't, because all they want to do is, well, we'll see you pain management. I bet you don't. I bet you don't, because they was the one that messed up my back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Got you.
So, what does a good support system look like for someone living with a chronic illness?
Family and friends. um I do have a good support system. um I can be a little hard-headed friend at times, but it's like everybody got things going on with their self, and I don't like to be bothering people,
Mm.
and I try not to. I feel myself in the depression, and when I do that, I shy away.
Hmm.
Like, I don't call nobody. I don't want to be around people because it's like, I miss my friends. I miss them to death. I miss my best friend. I miss them all. I talk to a couple of people here and there, and I have one that actually understands what I'm going through because me and her go through the same thing. My mom is there. My mom has been taking care of me from day one. My boyfriend, he was actually the one that was there when they came in there and said, "You have breast cancer." So, he's been through it. Sometimes I feel like he don't understand, but I don't try to make people do nothing they don't want to do. But I know he understands. I know my mom understands. I know my friends understand, because I'm gonna tell y'all what. Without my friends, man, they used to come out every week. We're going out. We're going out. Get your go. Bald headed and all, no hair and all. Throw them bad wigs before they had lace fronts. Honey,
Yeah,
them wigs was looking just as bad. I tried my best. Threw that wig on, went out, and they
yeah,
got me out the house. They got me out the house.
yeah.
Did a lot for me. I'm in and out the hospital, you guys. They're up there. My sister come down, sat with me and everything. She still come down to this day. So I do have a wonderful support system. I just sometimes don't let people in because I don't want to be burdening, you know, other people,
Yeah.
with my problems. You just don't. And people be like, oh, if you ever need anything, let me know. And then you be like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Like,
then it's
okay,
like,
I'll tell you.
why didn't she say anything? Because you, I don't know.
You don't
I,
want to
I
do.
just,
It's a lot.
Yeah.
it's y'all.
It's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
No, we
It's a
understand.
lot.
Yeah.
So what changes would you like to see in the way healthcare systems address chronic illnesses and mental health together?
Um, you know what? I would like to see more therapy doctors accept our insurances. I mean, I don't have a problem, but when you have people that's on Medicaid, they don't accept, like Buckeye or Care Source and stuff like that. And then you got to go to these, mediocre, therapists that
Hmm.
is just there for a paycheck. I would like to
Yeah.
see that more therapists accepting more Medicaid. I would like to see more doctors accepting, you know, more patients like me. I would like to see the doctors actually caring and say, well, we can try you on a narcotic, but just like a low dose, just to see how you're feeling. You know, you don't have to necessarily, all right, we're going to prescribe you this and that and the third, you know, because these insurances is not going to pay. They just not. They just not. Well, we got to try her on this and that and the third before we reach that level.
Mhm.
That's what changes I would like to see.
And so, Tiff, in the realm of, talking about those changes, right? Because, like you said, insurance dominates, man. We think that we have choice among doctors, but it's that insurance that's really doing a lot of the dominating on what takes place and what doesn't, unfortunately. And so, what advice would you give to someone who's newly diagnosed with a chronic illness?
To get their support system together, to start asking questions. I actually had, because I am building my own business actually with breast cancer and ovarian cervical. And I do talk to a lot of people who have been diagnosed with either or. And the first thing I do tell them is pray, get your support system, be heard. Prime example, my aunt just passed away. I think it's actually been a year. She passed away last year, I think it's February, of breast cancer. This was my father's sister. And she had called me September 2023. Said, she called me Sugar. Sugar, they diagnosed me with breast cancer. And, it really hurt my heart because I had literally just saw her in Florida. I can't go down there. So I said, Auntie, listen. I said, when you get to the doctor, call me, FaceTime me. She did not. Her husband was there. He don't know nothing. So it's just him and her and my older grandmother, which my grandmother at the time I think was like 96. She's 98 now. So anyway, she was like, they're gonna do surgery. And I said, okay, are they gonna remove the whole thing? Tell them I said remove the whole thing. She said, okay. So she calls me, I'm blowing her. She calls me back, said she had her surgery. They just did a lump, took the thing out because it wasn't that big. And I said, oh my God, you're like 80 something years old. Why didn't they just remove it? She ended up catching COVID and ended up dying. At her last, she had took her last chemo regimen and just died because somebody was not there to be her second voice other than her husband. Her husband, I know truly love her, but what would he know? I love my uncle, but come on.
Right.
This is whole breast cancer. This is a woman's thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel comfortable going with your husband or your boyfriend or whatever, you definitely can just explain that to them and just have a woman go with them because they know more what you're going, you know what I'm saying? A woman's body than your husband. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? They're upset in their head because my wife or girlfriend has breast cancer.
Right.
So with that, my boyfriend didn't go with me to none of my appointments. My mom did. But knowing now what I didn't know then, I mean, she couldn't really answer she answered some questions like, okay, what is this? What is that? And they told her, well, Ms. Millirons, she's going to go through menopause as soon as she do her first chemo. And sure enough, she remembered that because when I was sitting here in my room talking to her, it felt like a ball of fire just came right through me. And I didn't know what was going on. And she knew. She said, open up the windows, turn on all the fans. And it's like whole October. It's freezing. I
Yes.
couldn't do it. So speak up. That's what I would tell them.
Yes. Oh boy, don't I know about that qualified.
I'll be at work. I'm hot now. I'm hot. I'm whole sweat now. I'll be at work. So what do you want to eat today? They were like, you're going through the change, honey. Yes, I am, Miss Such and
Yeah.
Such. Oh, bless your heart.
Right, right. We go
What?
from one extreme to the next in a matter of like a minute or two.
Yeah.
And so, in regards to this, so what gives you hope or keeps you motivated when in difficult days? On difficult days, what keeps you motivated?
Girl, the Lord,
Come on now.
the
Yes,
Lord, the
yes,
Lord. It
yes.
be, it be. I want to call off work. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. But it's like I hate being in the house. I get uh, um um cabin fever, and it's like the weirdest thing because I literally hate being in the house. So it's like I schedule my day, my weeks and everything. Like, okay, I got to do this, got to do that, da, 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 da. So it's like once I get home, I'm so tired, I'm ready to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I have that day off from work, I'm looking forward to having that day off from work. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because then my body can rest.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because
Mhm.
I work in dietary.
Mm-hmm.
So all we do is wash dishes. We serve, you know what I'm saying? And I love my job. I love them residents there because them residents, they're all like basically over the age of 80. And I sit there and I conversate with them, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh my God, you're so young, this is and a third. And all we do is dishes, serve them, um, lifting trays and everything. And I come home, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I'm tired, but I have to keep moving. My child, he got things going on, so I make sure he go to all his activities. If I don't go, I just don't go. I ain't gotta go.
Right.
I ain't gotta go.
Right.
Ain't going.
Right.
And like if you want to go over Nini's, you go over Nini. Nini can take you.
Right.
I ain't gotta go. I can stay right here. Like this morning,
Yep.
I ain't want to go to church, but I went, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta
But you ain't gotta go.
go.
I ain't gotta
No,
go.
you ain't gonna put no gun in my head. Cause my mom be like, "Why want you at church?" And child, I'm glad I did because I didn't know she was gonna be at church today, and she would have come in like, "Why you ain't be at church?" And I gotta hear all that. You know what I'm saying? Guess what?
You ain't gotta go.
Oh,
But
good.
it felt good to go.
It did.
So, Miss
It did.
Miss Tiff,
Yes,
how can
ma'am.
friends how can friends and loved ones best support someone dealing with both chronic illnesses and mental health challenges?
Just
Or how
listen
can
to
we
him, y'all.
support you through it?
Just
Yeah.
listen. Don't judge.
Yeah.
Don't judge. Please just listen. And if you tired of not listening to my complaining, don't call me
Yeah.
or just don't answer the phone. Just don't answer the phone. It's no, y'all. I'm serious because and that's why I don't really
Oh,
bother people. I don't
yeah.
really bother people because I know I could be that one, be like, girl, I'm so tired. I hurt, this is that third. And, I get to complain because you get to vent. And you just really need to vent and you really need to have ear. People call me all the time and honey, I'll sit there and I will let them talk. And I will
Right.
chime in here and there. I'll give my opinion, not too much because I don't be wanting to offend nobody, but I'll give my
Hmm.
opinion. And,
Mhm.
and the first thing I'll say is, listen here, I don't want you to get mad at me, but this is just my opinion, and this is what I think you should do. Da, da, da. But don't judge nobody. If you are a
No.
true friend, if you really love that person, just sit and listen. Just listen to them
Hmm.
because you don't know what they're going through. Man, you not know how many people that calls me and just start talking, and I'll be like, what? And
Hmm.
like I did not know because you don't.
Right.
You don't. I got 3 surgeries coming up.
Mm.
Mm.
They don't know that. They may know now because they probably on here looking, but I tell them for what I'm
They're gonna
not
be like,
that
why you
one.
didn't call me? Right.
Yeah, no. Because first of all, there's nothing. The surgeries ain't really that serious. Well, you know what? I can't even say that. I'm gonna stop lying because anytime you go up under the knife
Hmm.
and they have
Yes.
to literally put you out, and
Okay.
if it's an
Yes.
outpatient, inpatient, whatever, it's
Hmm.
serious because you guys, I have had it's probably 20 surgeries and I'm just putting it all together from it could be a toe, it could be an ankle, all
Hmm.
surgeries, but the most surgery I have had is because of my breast. I told my doctor, I said, I'm not messing with my breast unless it's really necessary, and it is necessary. Because I just had surgery last June, and I was fine. And then I'm like, you didn't get something. It's something that you didn't get, because now it's worse to the point where if I put on a bra, I will just start having back spasms. And the nerves in my shoulder right here, they just feel like pins and needles just going everywhere, So it's like I just don't. It's like there's nothing you can do. Like, yeah, I could sit here and talk to you guys, to be blue in the face, my friends and family and all that. They all know. But I just, when it comes to like that, and I do feel bad, but you have certain people that will say something crazy, and you'd be like, you know what, that person right there, I'm not going to talk to. Like it's a couple of people that have, I have mentioned something, about my health, and I have got a negative feedback back, and I just shy away. Like, okay, well, that person, I'm not going to talk to about it no more. I'd rather not talk to you than to say something crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Right.
yeah, just be supportive, and that's why I want to do this business. And my business is a nonprofit. um BLCC is breast, ovarian, cervical cancer support center, because I want to support people that is
Right.
being diagnosed with that, because they need people to just come to them and say, hey, what do you need? What do you want me to do? Where you want to go? You got to go to the doctor. You got to go wherever. And versus people is just like, with our mental health, yeah, I do. I was brought up with ADHD, and it went from that because I was in a very abusive relationship. And that abusive relationship just took a turn for the worse, and it really got me mentally messed up. Do. It do. So it went from that to me having cancer, to me having them telling me I have osteopenia, to me telling me I have chronic back pain, to me telling them I have, IBS constipation. And the list just goes on and on and on. What the hell am I supposed to do? We allowed to cuss on here? Or if we did, I'm sorry.
We don't know the rules. We just co-host over
Oh,
here.
okay.
Our guest host.
Because it goes on transcendent.
Mr. Tony, that's your question.
You can't get us all fired, Lady Poet.
Right.
Cat note. Cat
Look,
note.
if
It
you see
goes.
a whole new co-host next week, you ain't gonna know.
Period, friend.
The gospel gangster.
Gospel gangster.
And do.
Tiffany, with all that being said, we can wrap you up, sis. How can our viewers, somebody that's resonating with you right now, how can they reach out to contact you and give them one last word to carry out with them dealing with their own chronic illness?
They can reach me. I'm on Instagram at Lady Tiff, Lady Tiffany, Lady Tiffany 77 on Instagram, and just regular Tiffany Millirons 7 on Facebook. And the last words is pray and be mindful of who you let in your corner. Everything will be okay. And you have some supporters out there. I do have my Facebook page open for BLCC. So if you just go on there, BLCC, and my name is up under that. You can reach me up under that as well.
Awesome.
And Cassandra, I just want to let you know, honey, that was a beautiful message that you sent to me before the podcast. Because I looked at it on my watch and only saw like just a paragraph, and then I got on my phone like, what? Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you.
I sent her. We have a team prayer that goes out, guys, before our podcast at 6 p.m. And so I share it to the extent that I can. I try to share it with the guest as well. And Tiffany and I have spoken before, so I kind of knew she might be feeling a little nervous. I don't know why, but I just wanted to send her some words of healing and comfort. We're gonna have to sensitive to, but I'm just saying, so but it's all love. We thank you so much
Absolutely.
coming on the show
Thank
again. I'm
you.
sure this wasn't necessarily the easiest share. You already said some folks out there, they done found out some information tonight. But that's all right.
Well, they still gonna love me regardless.
You
They
know,
better.
what I was going to say, they're gonna love you anyhow. Why?
Yeah.
Because they can.
Period.
Tiffany, thank you so much, sis, for joining us this evening. I saw Cat Queen was joking with you about this not in the culture. But you have done an awesome job. And so our viewers, again, if you need more information to contact Tiffany, please feel free to contact us at you can email us at openletterstoasurvivor@gmail.com. You can put Tiff, you can put chronic illness, whichever one resonates with you the most. I know sometimes you can remember a name, sometimes you might not, but you remembered the topic. So just go ahead and put that in there. We'll make sure that we are able to get you in contact with her. So Tiff, we're going to go ahead and just do our spots for our show. You are more than welcome to stay with us to wrap up this evening. If you leave, again, we honor your time, so you do what's necessary. But if you can stay, we're going to ask you to stay on with us.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna stay.
So we're going to ask you to stay. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Miss Lucy to do our spotlight segment. And then from there, we're going to hand it over to PJ for our Let's Go to Therapy. Miss Lucy, you're up.
All right. Once again, we want to thank Miss Tiff for coming today. We really appreciate you for coming and sharing. And I know you inspired somebody. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And on to the spotlight. In this week's spotlight section, we have our own Minister Tim Stevens with his clothing line, Righteous Brothers. Specializing in men's apparel and accessories as always, their motto is get right, look right, and feel right. So you can go straight right. So you can go stay right. Yes. I love that. Yes, Tim. Yes. And you can reach him today at right.216 on Instagram. Also, we have the Fearless and Flourishing Summit that will be coming up this March. If you know any strong women who would love to tell their story and impact the audience, please have them sign up today. The information is probably going to be down in the chat. So look at the chat for the information for the Fearless and Flourishing Summit. We would love to see you there. And also on the spotlight is Luciana Adams with Sister to Sister Chat. That will be taking place on Saturday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. at the Warrensville Heights Library. That's the Sister to Sister Chat in Room B. And I can be reached at myfavorbyfaith@gmail.com. And to find out how to get your business featured in our spotlight section, please email us today at openletterstoasurvivor@gmail.com. And that is our spotlight for today.
Also, I forgot you were going to say that about the Fearless and Flourishing.
Yes.
Flourishing, guys. The founder and creator, that's PJ. So, yeah, please come on and support. If you need to be a speaker, we got that information. If you just need some empowerment, you're going to join us in that summit as we are helping co-host that summit. And so, PJ, I'm going to now swing it over to you to do our Let's Go to Therapy.
Let's go to therapy. Okay. So, today's Let's Go to Therapy segment, we have Belinda Williams, who specializes in trauma for the people in our communities. You can reach her at Belinda at CHTM awc.org. We also have Dr. Shamara, I hope I'm saying that right, Shamara Thomas Hutchins,
Mhm.
with around the clock with an around the clock approach to therapy. You can reach her on social media platforms at the Mindologist. I have all these big words. Okay, I got this. You can also check out her book called Horology of a Woman. To find out how you can be featured on our Let's Go to Therapy segment, you can reach us at open letters to a survivor at gmail.com, and in the subject, Let's Go to Therapy.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're
And now I'm going to do our sponsorship segment. And so we ask for
Yay.
you please to empower our mission. Open Letters to a Survivor seeks
Yes.
sponsors to help us shine a light on mental health issues within communities for people of color. Together, we can create lasting change. Please email us at openletterstoasurvivor@gmail.com and put in our subject line sponsor if you would like to know more about sponsoring our podcast. And so now, with all of that being said, we have heard about the man, and now we get to meet the man. We're going to bring on our very own Tim Stevens for our motivational minute. Uh,
Hey everybody.
hey, what's up?
No.
Tim, Tim.
This is Mr.
Hello.
What is it, Tim? Look right, be right, stay right.
Look right, be right, get right.
Well, you will look right, feel right, so you can grow right.
Grow
Mm.
right. I love it.
Yeah, everybody, yeah, K Love and Cassandra and a little bit I ain't gonna say her government name, a lady poet. They all love saying that. So that's the same. All the righteous brothers. You can see me on Instagram. I have a lot of pictures on Instagram. Right dot brothers 216. And I'm trying to do a little bit more on social media, but I'm trying to reach people face to face in the churches as well too. But tonight, I'm glad I was able to hear a little bit of the podcast because it's so important to take care of yourself. Because you gotta understand, once you become a child of God, once you give your life over to the Lord, or even just now, just think that your body is special, but your body doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Lord. You are keeping. You are a part of God's temple. Your body is a part of God's temple. God made you in His image. If you can see that in Genesis 1:27, is when you was born into this world. God made you into His image. But as we are a part of God's temple, we got to understand that we have to take care of ourselves. You can't take care of yourself if you're not seeing a doctor. You're not taking care of yourself. You know something is wrong, and you're not doing the proper things in order to get your body to be right. Even I had to learn that for myself. Tomorrow I'm going to a podiatrist to get my toe examined. 'Cause I've been having bad problems with my toe, and and I've been trying to put it off. I've been putting it off for months, and I should have been went. But my friend kept on pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. I had to think that if I'm encouraging everybody else to do what going to the doctor and seeing about themselves, I gotta do the same. I gotta do the same thing that I'm telling everybody else to do. And it's very important because you want to live a long life. You want to live a healthy life. No other way to do that is to take care of yourself and sometimes you have to reach out and seek help as well. But allow the Lord cry out to the Lord, and the Lord will send you the great help, the help that you need, not what everybody else is telling you, but the help that you specifically need. And it's good to have build community, build friendships, build good bonds. You don't have to tell everybody. You don't got to talk to everybody, but you should at least have that one person to help you, that one mentor to help you. One of the ministers that serves with me at my church, he always says it's good to have a mentor and it's good to have a mentee as well. Because once you get some knowledge, once you get to know some things, then you got to tell somebody else. You can't just hold it in. We got to be willing to work together. Just after church today, I was had dinner with some of my church members because we were celebrating one of the church members' birthdays, and one of the members said that we as a church we got to come together a little bit more because we living in some difficult times. We gotta wake up and learn how to survive even deeper. As some as, as down south, my grandpa always just say they used to grow their food, and we may have to go back to do we have to go to doing that. But the main thing is how you're gonna do it is building community. Someone can teach you how to do it because times is hard, and I believe, and I'm not even going into preaching, but I believe we're living in some difficult days, some dark days coming ahead. But know one thing: God is in control. Continually know that God is in control. The Psalms 24:1 can even tell you, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and all they that dwell therein. Know that God is in control despite anything else. Just know God is in control. He has the final say. But one thing we got to do, we got to step out on faith and know that God got it. But we got to do the work. Cry out to the Lord. Seek the kingdom of God, and He'll give you all the help that you need. But when He gives you that help, receive it and use it to the best of your ability. Don't just know that the help is coming. You're not doing anything about it. Seek the kingdom of God of all things, and He'll give you everything that you need, but take advantage of what He's giving you. Take advantage of what you earn. Don't just sit there in a moment and let things just happen and go by. Continually seek the kingdom, allow Him to give you what you need, and take advantage of it and use it to the best of your ability. And that's all that I have. Just know that God got you. He's in control. But we gotta do some work. And after you cry out to the Lord, do some work, and God's gonna take over everything. But we have to just do some work. Take the steps that you need to survive because you can't just sit back and then not do anything. We got to continually take care of ourselves and continually do what we are required to do. And that's why I love this podcast so well. It helps me as well. But that's all that I have. God bless you and God keep you.
All right, Tim. Thank you so very much. What Lady Poet always say, Tim, take us to church.
I mean, he took us there too, honey. He took us there.
Very
Right.
much that motivation. That was a motivational minute indeed. And so, again, guys, that is us. Open letters to a survivor this evening. We are going to implore you still, to give us some likes, some love, some shares, right? Hit those subscribe buttons and that
Those
YouTube, all
buttons.
things to give us the support. Give us that like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you this evening to my co-host PJ and Lucy. Great job, ladies. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Tim,
Mwah.
for the motivational minute. And last but definitely not least, thank you to our guest this evening, Tiff.
Miss
Tiff,
Tiff.
we are keeping you lifted in prayer as always. We thank you for coming on. Somebody has truly been blessed by your
Yes.
testimony this
Yes.
evening. And just knowing if for no other reason that they're not alone, right? And
Yes,
so that
yes.
being said, we are going to bid you all farewell. Welcome back to us next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you later.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Have a blessed week.